I'm Genghis Khan. Oh wait, oops, sorry. I'm Maeghan Grady, and you're watching Crash Course World History. Today we're going to be talking about something that's been around since the beginning of human time.
Is it the dinosaurs?
No, Bobby.
Oh, that's right, it's the Mongols.
The Mongols.
Unfortunately, no, not today. Today we're going to be talking about something near and dear to our hearts, technology.
Oh, so like my iPad, my iPhone, my Apple Watch? That's that?
Yes, but not exactly. Technology is not just your Apple products. Technology is the application of scientific knowledge for practical purpose. Technology has had impact on our lives since the day of cavemen. People learned how to make and control fire and were able to use it to cook food, make pottery, and stay warm. New stone tools also emerged, which made hunting easier. Tools including daggers, spear points for hunting, scrapers for scraping animal skins, and hand axes to cut meat. Controlling fire and advanced weaponry helped to increase the human life expectancy. As simple technology progressed, people began to advance agriculture with these tools, leading to the Neolithic Revolution. Developing farming allowed for surpluses in food and specialization in labor, which meant even more technology could be made.
They domesticated animals too, right?
Correct. With technologies such as pens and herding techniques, domesticated animals took over the necessity of hunting.
Aww.
No, that was good. Don't you want that cheeseburger? Overall, the birth of agriculture allowed for the making of technology and led the way for technological revolutions all around the world. Now moving on to one of my favorites, the classical period. Oh, when did this get here? Let's see if there's anything inside. A letter. It's from my friend the merchant. He's here to thank the Hans. Oh, that's right, because thanks to the Hans for developing the loom, the dynasty was able to become extremely rich. Silk became one of the main sources of trade, hence the name of the trade route, the Silk Roads. Silk was a very light commodity, so it became a good source of currency along the roads, along with silver drachm and gold slithius.
Didn't the Hans develop paper too?
I remember you telling us that the Han dynasty is most popularly known for its invention of the paper-making process. Kai Lun's process used mulberry bark as its main ingredient in the mixture. Paper allowed for ideas to flourish as they could be written down. Although at first, paper was scarce and expensive, and the process of scribing was very tedious.
That's right, Jimmy. The Hans also improved the process of making cast iron tools, which resulted in better weapon and agricultural tools, benefiting the economy and the people of the Han Empire greatly.
Whoa, the Hans invented a lot of the technology that we still use today.
They sure did, but they weren't the only inventors during this time period. What empire comes to mind when you see this?
To give you Alias Maximus!
The Romans!
Correct. Do we know anything they invented?
The aqueducts.
Sort of. What did these aqueducts do?
Isn't this an aqueduct?
Not quite, Bobby. Aqueducts brought outside water into towns and cities and allowed the population of these places to survive and flourish. Through a system of pipes, canals, ditches, and more, they supplied water to the public baths, fountains, latrines, and houses of wealthy Romans.
Wait, Romans took baths in the same place? That's nasty.
Hey, at least they took baths, which was more than what most people were doing during this time period. The Romans were advanced in almost every aspect, especially technology. By the 2nd century BCE, the Romans had built bridges made of concrete core, which was a new invention that had stayed popular through modern age. This allowed for easier connection of roads, making travel and transporting goods more efficient. At first, bridges were built with stone and held together with iron clamps. The concrete developed later in the 2nd century BCE, making bridges stronger and more durable.
Was this built in Rome?
Come on, Jimmy, that bridge wasn't built by the Romans, but those roads could have been. The Romans built an extensive network of roads that helped facilitate trade and mobilize armies quickly, making life easier for its citizens.
Well, you're absolutely right, Bobby, but we still not are in Rome, but the Romans did build many, many roads. Now into the 13th century, where one of my personal favorite empires was established, the Mongols. Ah, what peaceful people.
Excuse me, ma'am, but the Mongols were not peaceful people. In fact, the Mongols were able to hold the largest land empire the world has ever seen, and this was only possible with the invention of the metal stirrup. This allowed for the Mongols to become fierce warriors with an art of warfare that no one had ever seen before. This made many people in the surrounding area frightened.
That's right, Jimmy. And it was during this time period of the Mongols when Chinese scientists began playing around with saltpeter and someone mixed it with charcoal and sulfur. In the mid-9th century, they discovered gunpowder.
Yes, and gunpowder was first used by the Sung dynasty against the Mongols. They also saw flying fire used against them, which is an arrow fixed with a tube of gunpowder that ignited and would be shot towards the enemy. This completely changed warfare and made death tolls in battles rise.
This new deadly weapon became a highly wanted item by those in Asia as well as those in Europe. They used it to their advantage to take over foreign places during imperialism, frightening the people they conquered. Although you guys know a lot about gunpowder, I bet you didn't know that the Islamic empires created a basis for many technologies we use every day during their golden age from the 8th century to the 14th century.
Yeah, we can thank the Muslims for algebraic and astronomical advancements. Without them, we wouldn't know even the most basic parts of mathematics that we learn today in school. They also had many advances in medicine, like surgical tools. These technologies were invented in the early 9th and 10th centuries, and they are still very important tools that we use today.
Yeah, in the period of 1450 to 1750 in the Ottoman Empire, technology wasn't really advanced. The Ottomans relied heavily on trade from foreign countries and outdated weaponry, unlike the rest of Europe, who was flourishing in technological advancements, specifically in warfare.
You're both completely correct. The Islamic Empire did give the world incredible technologies in its golden age, but their technological advancements began to plateau, whereas places like Europe were flourishing, where the printing press was invented by Gutenberg in 1450, making books super easy to print and making it easier for many people to access books. Let's see what the secret compartment has for me today. Oh, it's a train! This leads us to the biggest time period for improvements in technology, the Industrial Revolution. It lasted from 750 to 1850 and completely changed how technology is used by humans. One of the major developments was steam-powered machines, like this train here. The construction of trains and railroads led to growth and development of new cities, which means more jobs. Cost of living went down as necessities like clothes and food could be transported quicker.
Oh, so this left extra money for luxuries for people like vacation, the theater, the cinema, stuff like that?
Yeah, and railroads also made it easier to transport supplies to the wars, like the Civil War in the US or the World Wars in modern times.
People still use trains every day to make their life easier, like commuting to work, or transporting goods, or traveling across land. Moving on to the 20th and 21st century, they've seen some of the most amazing technological inventions. The most popular invention of today is the World Wide Web, invented in 1990 by computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee.
I thought Fortnite was the most popular invention of the 21st century.
Yeah.
Without the World Wide Web, there would be no Fortnite.
No Fortnite? Sorry, what? I was playing Fortnite.
The introduction of the World Wide Web, which led to the internet, was a step in the direction of giving us access to all the information online we have today.
Oh, so it gave us Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook.
Don't forget MySpace.
Yes, but our new network-centered society has had a different side effect, such as the rise of a me-centered society. We have an increased interest in ourselves and our own interests, and a decrease in community interests. A sense of community is now formed by individuals looking for like-minded people through online and offline interaction.
The internet has changed how I interact with people. I can reach people in a matter of seconds who live all the way on the other side of the globe. Like my friend from New Zealand.
Yeah, I have a foreign friend too. But on the other hand, the internet has also made the people on it feel invincible and has opened a new window to cyberbullying.
As we've learned today, Technology has been impacting humans and our way of life since the beginning of our existence, for good and for bad. Without technology, our world would be nowhere near the advanced place we are today. Technology is still changing every day and will continue to advance for as long as we are on this earth. Thanks for watching! We'll see you next time! This episode of Crash Course World History was written and produced by Riley Burnham, Isabelle Sevian, and Maeghan Grady. A special thank you to our world history teachers, Miss Lofstedt and Mr. Welsch.